if we start centrally, you know, so the league holds certain rights on behalf of all the clubs. We've had a brief dance already with broadcasting rights, but central sponsorship opportunities are also controlled by the league. So, for example, the league sponsor is Sky Bet, and it's interesting to hear, you know, obviously the new moves into the betting industry, obviously in the US, you know, actually betting at football matches has been well established for many, many years, and in fact it's commonplace amongst those that are attending, you know. And you know, I agree with where Wes was earlier. Ultimately, it is part of the enjoyment and the engagement of fans going to games now. And ultimately, there are some are complex bets and some are very simple bets. The one thing for certain is, if you're a bookmaker at an English game, nobody ever bets against their own team. Everybody bets their team to win. The draw is the bookmaker's favourite in England in every which way, shape and form. So there's all sorts of central income. So the league from next year will turn over around £184 million. Of that, the central costs come off, and then the money is then distributed to the clubs. So I don't want to sit here and say we're a not-for-profit organisation, because obviously we have to make an element of profit, but the profit that we make goes straight back to our clubs. And ultimately, you know, centrally from a championship club gets just short of £3 million in central revenue for running the cost. A club in League One gets £880,000, and a club in League Two £635,000. When you add to that money that the Premier League paid down to our clubs as what's classed as solidarity payments, then ultimately, when you add them all up, you know, Championship clubs are going to receive centrally about £7.35 million. It is one of the most sold.
That's the league right below the.
Absolutely, yeah. The Championship. So it's Championship, League One, and League Two in terms of its order. Obviously, with promotion and relegation, which I'm sure we'll get to, working between the two. I mean, it is one of the more difficult parts of the job, and that this and a lot of my colleagues see when you actually consider that we work to generate as much money for our clubs as we can. We get 2.35 million to a Championship club, yet the Premier League give them 4.4 million.